Hey guys, real quick one today. I'm going to give you a real quick tip how not to get sciatica when sitting. Back in the 80s, sciatica was primarily caused from heavy lifting and moving and stuff like that. Today, it's almost exclusively from sitting and sitting too much. And it's a devastating condition if you get it. And so let's go through it. And I just want to be honest with you. Before I did this video today, I went on the net, and most of the stuff was kind of, it wasn't wrong, but it certainly wasn't right. And there's an awful lot of information out there, and people get millions of views on this stuff. And just because you're getting millions of views doesn't necessarily mean it's right. If you, for example, if you go see a film in Hollywood, a Hollywood film, just because it has a lot of views doesn't mean it's going to be a good film. And so there's a massive echo chamber out there, and people are saying, regurgitating the same old stuff. And this is a subject that I spent decades on, and I've done personal research on this, and I'm going to go through this real fast and give you what you can do right now to stop getting sciatica from sitting. But there's just so much out there, and I just want to give you one suggestion, and I'm going to put the link down below. There's a book called The Crowd by Gustave. I encourage any of you to read this book. It'll completely change your life. Hey guys, before I begin, make sure you like and subscribe down below, and also visit our website. In my humble opinion, I believe we have the best pillow, bar none, on the planet, and you all know how important good sleep is. So if you listen to the experts, and like especially on the internet, and people getting millions of views, they would say, almost statistically all of them, that you should be sitting 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. But think about that for a second. If you look at any living or biological system in nature, it's non-linear, and they're telling you to sit linear. And so if you look at the spine, for example, you have a neck curve, a mid-back curve, low back curve, and pelvic curve. And so we personally, over 2 decades, we looked at every single seat, that you can imagine, seat wedges, lumbar cushions, and we measured it using this thing called electromyography, a surface electromyography. And what this does, instead of a person saying, hey, yeah, I can sit on this thing or put this lumbar support in or sit on this chair, hey, that feels cool, doc. Really it was very subjective, and it wasn't objective. And what we wanted to get was objective findings. We wanted not see how the person felt. We wanted to see how their body was functioning, which was much better. And so what we found was that this 90 degrees actually made things worse. And we actually found that if you, with this 90 and you add a lumbar support, it made it even more worse. And so to illustrate this, let me show you. Okay, so in our last video, we talked about how sitting can cause sciatica, for example, and the 3 causes would have been a herniated or prolapsed disc, canal stenosis, which is the canal tightening up or hardening, and the other one would be a thing called piriformis syndrome. But what causes that from sitting is this. If we look at the disc, the rubbery part between the bones, this part here, what happens is this. If you take this, use this example, I'll use a balloon and 2 boards here. And so let's say the disc acts as a shock absorber for the spine. And when you sit in the 90 degree angle, what happens is that disc starts bulging out towards the back. And what happens is the back here is where the spinal cord is and the nerves are. And so the conventional wisdom would tell you, in this position here, while you're sitting like this at 90 degrees, 90, you want to throw another lumbar support this way. And what that was, it created too much pressure, what they call intrathecal pressure. And it just wasn't a good idea. Now, another way of looking at it, and this is what we found and led us to this. If we take the spine here like this, and instead of trying to put a lumbar support in here, what if you change the foundation? What if you change the foundational angle? Okay? And what if you set the base right first? And this is what we did. We went through so many different angles, and we came up with a sweet spot for the foundation. And this is what the whole foundation is based on. So when you sit on this, it sets the foundation right. Okay? Most people are treating the roofs, and their foundations there's a problem in the foundation. If you get the foundation right, all else falls into place. Okay? Because you have 24 bones that are stacked on top of each other. But if you get the foundation right, there's no problems at all. In fact, it's almost mute to have even a lumbar curve or back to the chair. If you get this right, you are engaging your hips, you're engaging your foundational muscles, and everything seems to line up. Your ears over your shoulders and your hips and everything. You're engaged in your core, and you're actually exercising all day long. We found that people who do this, they tend not to get sciatica. If they do have sciatica or back pain or leg pain, this is a absolute blessing, and it's an absolute must. So the best advice I can give you personally from all my years of experience is to get your foundation right first. And the cool thing about this is you can put this anywhere. You could take this in your car. It has a strap on it. You could take it to the theater. You could take it to dinner. You could take it on airplanes. You could take it everywhere. So every single seat is ergonomic. It's all perfect. You're always engaging your muscles and you're exercising. The most important thing is not the exercise. It's the non-exercising hours that count the most. Okay, and I'll say that again. It's the non-exercising hours that count the most. And so if you're sitting all day long, your frame is right and you're engaging your muscles, that kinetic chain is right, and you're strengthening your core. Now, the other thing is this. This in itself is not enough. The other thing is, and we talked about this in our very first video, the most important thing you can do, the biggest research ever done on this, was that you need to get up every 15 or 20 minutes. You just need to stand up. And that kind of reboots the computer. We invented a thing called Reboot, okay? And here's what I'm going to do for you. If anybody this week gets a foundation, we're just going to throw this in with it, okay? So you're going to get the 2 of these for the price of 1, okay? Thank you. And please don't forget to like us and subscribe, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.